Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started because I know some of you are quite literally on your lunch break or you've adjusted your time. So I know we're coast to coast. If you're new, don't worry. We do record it. You have to give me a day or two because my office girl works beginning of the week, not end of the week, but she does it for us when she has time. And anywhere you learn about it is where I'll post the recording. For all of you that were on last week and wanting the handout from Sherry, I just posted it this AM in a Lunch and Learn group, so it's there for you now. Um, in YouTube, it's just my name. You can do that, or you can get on Lunch and Learn group. It is a Facebook page. You all talked me into that finally this year. However, I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out where I can't keep including people in that. I might have to make 2 pages. I don't know how that works, but never had that problem before, but we're getting there apparently. Just go in there and just know every time someone likes a post or doesn't, it puts everything in a different order again. So I promise you they're there. It just might take some time to scroll down and scroll through it to find in the comments, whatever you're looking for. But some of them are previous speakers that you'll find on YouTube that are not in the Facebook group, because that's been another question. And it's because I didn't have the Facebook group. I was like, I cannot be a part of one more thing. And then I was like, all right, we'll do it. So welcome everyone to our Lunch and Learn. This is for everybody. I don't care if your the ink on your agreement is still wet all the way to national. You can share this with any friends. You're always welcome to invite anyone. We are inclusive in this exclusive group here. And so everyone's included. We have the fabulous, amazing Jill Kimple, that she is also from my home state, Kansas, that's going to train today. And she is fun and full of life. If you've never had the honor or privilege, because some of you might be in a different seminar affiliation, Jill is it. Her group, she's just sharing how one of her girls is on fire this month. And I love when you see all that. And if any of you are from the Wichita area, what's it called? Wichita Jamboree?
Yes, Wichita Jamboree, January
Yes.
3rd and 4th.
Yeah, so she's part of all that. So some of you might know her or know of that or participate in that if you're local to that. So Jill, I just want to thank you, one, for just leading with vision and integrity for Mary Kay Ash and her company. I think that's really important that we do that. And I don't just let anyone train all of you on these calls. It has to be, sometimes it's highly recommended. I don't know them, but I also call them and check with them if I don't know personally, because I want to make sure this is a safe place where alike minds can come together, but protect the community at Mary Kay Ash and her vision and what she wanted and leading the company. And you have always done that in these years. And I just want to share a little bit about Jill with you really quick so you kind of have a little background before she speaks if you haven't gotten to know her yet. She joined Mary Kay 35 years ago. She's earned her first free car after 1 year of joining, Star Consultant 99 times, National Court of Sales 3, sharing, you see all those bumblebees 14 times. She's medaled tons, 49 bronze, 22 silver, 23 gold. The biggest thing you could ever earn in all of your life is nominated as Miss Go Give recipient in September 2014. She's been Circle of Achievement 10 times. She's been in the 600,000 unit club. Highest check is over 15,000. So I want you to know this lady has walked the walk and talked the talk. Grab pen and paper. You want to be ready for it. And that's why I love the recordings. I mean, I don't know if the rest of you do that. I got to do it a few times and write it, and I hear it differently. And Jill, thank you for your Go Give heart. And I'm just so honored to have you today. Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you so much for asking me. And I'm honored, Jennifer, thank you so much. And you too have a lot of spunk and you are wonderful. And thank you for your Go Give heart. I so appreciate that, because, we wouldn't be able to have this wonderful Mary Kay where we had no territories if we didn't have that Go Give spirit. So that is just phenomenal. And thank you. Thank you. I know Mary Kay's smiling from heaven upon you, girlfriend. I know she is, but we're going to get this party started. Are you guys ready? Okay, in your minds, I want you to say, I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great. And you need to say that to yourself every single morning, because you are great. You are great, but you need to be in that proper mindset every single day. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you, I did work up a positive affirmation. I think this is very important for you to do. It needs to be personalized and special for yourself, because you know what you think about, you bring about. I did get to meet Mary Kay herself all those years ago. And just to let you guys know, there is hope for everybody, because I have been a director twice. That's going to be part of my story. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what went on. But I am a grandma of 10. I'm a grandma of 10. I started this when I had a daughter. My daughter was 18 months old. She's 35 now. She's my virtual assistant and my graphic designer. And she is also co-partner and co-owner of the Pink Bubble. So she is very much, she has a degree in graphic design and she is amazing, but she loves and has embraced the Mary Kay world. So just always remember, that there's so much as to with your children and your grandchildren. It's not what is taught many times, it's what is caught. They are watching you. They are watching every single thing that you do. And both of my children are entrepreneurs. My son is only 33 and he has cattle. He has over 200 head of cattle. He works in a machine shop. He owns his own farm. He has over 1,500 acres of farming. So you guys, it is what is caught, not what is taught in many instances, okay? But this is my positive affirmation. I am the jamminest, jivinest Jill Kimple to Talk Cream of the Crop National Sales Director of the highly motivated, extremely dedicated Jill's Jillionaires. We're the moving, shaking, strutting Jillionaires that won't let anyone rain in our parade. We'll go over, under, through any obstacles that stand in our way, and we will book, sell, and recruit because Mary Kay says to keep it simple. And trust me when I say I'll be leading the Jillionaires as National Sales Director, Jill Kimple. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so you need to toot your own horn. You need to have a pom-pom. Get it. It's awesome. My husband thinks I'm silly, but I have a very, very supportive husband. But I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of my story because it will give you hope. It's going to give you hope, I promise. I started when I was 24 years old. Okay, so I'm just giving away my age. If you do the math, 35 years, October 31st is when I signed my agreement. I will tell you that I was a college professor prior to Mary Kay, and I taught business courses to adult ladies to teach them how to go out and be executive secretaries. I loved being a teacher. I didn't want to do anything else but be a teacher. I did not want to be in sales because I just didn't want to be in sales. I just didn't. I didn't wear makeup. I grew up as a tomboy. I wore no makeup at all. So this was probably the least likely thing for me to do. I grew up in a family of 4 girls. But I will tell you that what happened is Mary Kay found me and I fell into it purely by accident. I was going to school to get my master's, and the only thing I could think of to get my master's to make a little bit of extra money was entrepreneurship. So I went to interview, I had to interview 5 people for an entrepreneur paper I was writing. And I ran out of names, and a friend said, I think you ought to talk to my friend. She flits around in a pink car. I think she owns her own makeup business, but you should go talk to her. So I went and I told her I wanted her help with my paper, but under no uncertain terms would I ever sell makeup. Now, you need to understand that I thought to get ahead in this world, you had to have a college degree. So, of course, I'm very proud that I have that college degree. But when I went to talk to her, she was so professional. She was so amazing. And I was like, I could learn things from her because she's so professional. And I need to take that back to my ladies in the classroom. So I sat on pins and needles. I took note after note after note as she was talking. And I said, I want to know where you got to college to learn how to do this. And she goes, oh, honey, I don't have a college degree. She said, I was babysitting for 50 cents an hour before Mary Kay. And she said, I now bring in 60,000 a year, working 20 hours a week, and I have 4 kids under the age of 11. I wanted her job. I wanted that because I had a daughter and I lived in a single wide trailer house stuck out in the middle of a wheat field, literally. And this is before cell phones, guys. This is before computers. This is before social media. We didn't even know what Facebook was. So I literally sat there and I listened to every single word she had to say, and I wanted to be her. And I got up from that chair, not thinking that I would ever do this. And I said, I just turned around. I don't know where the words came from. And I said, I don't know. I want to know how much time it takes, how much it costs, and where do I sign? It cost me $100 to start this business. I said, I will learn how to do anything if I can make that kind of money and be at home with my babies because I want more kids. Okay. So that was my start. You guys, I didn't wear any makeup. I had on blue eyeshadow when I went to interview her. I mean, nothing. That was it. And my hair was really down to here. I didn't curl it, none of that. And I had on Wrangler jeans and cowboy boots. So that was my start. I went home. I kind of got teary-eyed on the way home because I didn't even have $100. I wrote her a hot check. I didn't have the $100. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. And so I got home to that trailer house. I used my landline. I called my dad because I knew he would be in my amen corner. I called him. You got to find somebody who's in your amen corner. It's so important all the time, no matter what you're doing, even with your goals. So I called my dad and he said, okay, you come see me tomorrow and we're going to figure this out. By the time I had gotten there, my dad had called the Better Business Bureau on Mary Kay. He had called the company corporate and wrote, literally had them read the back of the agreement. And by the time I got there, my dad set me in a chair and said, you can do great. You're going to make great money with this business. You guys be careful as to who you are listening to. You've got to be really careful for what goes in here and it will come out here. You've got to be very, very careful. You are going to become most like the 5 most people that you hang out with the most. And we've heard this time and time again, but it is so true. Surround yourself around very positive, uplifting people. And always, always go think if you're struggling or you get into a situation where you don't know what to do, always reach up. You always reach up. You don't ever call another consultant or another director who's down in the dumps and sit there and just, waller in it. Don't waller in it. And just so you know, the further up you go on the career path, you don't have time. You don't have time for pity parties. You just don't. You'll stay busy and so each time you want to get through that cycle of getting there quicker and quicker, get past that struggle. Know who your go-to person is. You got to know who that is. So needless to say, I held 1 appointment a week. And at the end of the first year, I had a free car in my driveway. And that really painted the big picture for me. That was my first go around as a sales director. I was a sales director for approximately 12 years. And I was married to an alcoholic. He was physically abusive behind closed doors. And when he started getting physical with my kids, I had a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time. I decided to take a stand. And I literally had to leave that relationship. It was very, very difficult. It was a very volatile situation. I called my senior director and said, I'm going to need to step down because my kids and I need counseling. We've got to go get help. And so she loved on me. That was a very difficult time in my life. But I will say that I'm stronger for it. I stepped away from that, you guys. I literally was not a director, but I maintained my consultantship. I had 150 in my unit when I stepped down. I had 7 people on my team when I came back 2.5, 3 years later, because I got laid off at my job because that was right after 9/11. And literally when I got home, my daughter at the time, you guys, was only 12 years old. She had went and got my starter kits out of the closet, standing in the front door when I got home from getting laid off. And she said, Mom, I know what we're going to do. We're going to sell Mary Kay and we're going to be just fine. So that's what I did. And I never went back to working for anybody else ever again. Getting laid off is horrible. That was a very, very non-personal, very, very difficult as a single mom. And I was a single mom for 7 years and did this business. And literally Mary Kay is what helped me meet my month-end expenses. And so that point on, what I did, and I'm going to give you a tip, what I did as my second comeback as a sales director, I took 4 pieces of paper, take 4 pieces of lined paper. And what you're going to do on this piece of paper, of course, it has lines. It should have lines. I guess I can show you this one, but anyway, kind of like that. Take 4 pieces of paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to number 1 through 50. 1 through 50. And at the lower right-hand corner, you're going to take and put 5 lines. Okay, so 4 pieces of paper, each lined 50, number 50. Okay, and then 5. The reason I did, my senior director, I went to her after I got laid off and I said, all I want to do is concentrate on sales, because Mary Kay said, you guys, I could recruit anybody because I believe wholeheartedly in this business. So I was a recruiting machine. So if they bought a basic skincare, my first go around as a director, they just signed up. They just signed up. And so I didn't have much of a customer base. So I wanted a customer base because I thought if I'm going to ask my people to do something, then I have to do it too. So she came up with this idea and she said, you're going to facial, every time you facial somebody, you're going to fill in a line. You're going to fill in a line and you're going to get to 50. And those 5 lines at the bottom, you don't even need to focus on sharing because somebody's going to beg you to come into Mary Kay. I can guarantee you. And so you're going to end up with at least 5, probably more recruits, even though you're focusing just on the sales. So 50 faces. Now, what you need to do is you need to look at your schedule, and it's not a matter of how quick you can get the 50. You look at your schedule and then you think, because my director was smart and she said, Jill, we're not going to put a timeline on this. You're just going to post this and you're just going to keep track, because I wanted 200 customers. That's all I was focused on. And you guys, literally by the time I had, and it took me, you guys, listen to this. I was working full time. I was a single mom and I was doing Mary Kay. So it took me about 2.5 months to do 50. But guess what? By the end of the seminar year, I was in the National Court of Sales. I was in the National Court of Sharing. I was a brand new director all over again. And I'll tell you what, I finished directorship with 50. I finished my directorship with 50 in 3 months. And I have never struggled for any team production. I've never struggled for any of that. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. You know, I had my daughter that was 18 months old when I started my Mary Kay. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't ever, when you have something come in your path, many times it's divine intervention. Okay. And I'm sure many of you maybe experienced something like this, but when I didn't even have my son. Okay. I needed money just to put food on the table back in the day. We lived in a single wide trailer house, didn't have enough money for even groceries. Okay. I was only making $30,000 a year teaching as a college professor, which was really sad, but that's what I was making. And I didn't know this, but the good Lord above knew that I needed Mary Kay. So when something is presented to you and you have those little butterflies in your stomach, there's a reason why you've been led to that situation. Because what happened is shortly after I signed my agreement, I got pregnant with my son. My son was born with a very rare skin disorder. It's called lamellar ichthyosis. Okay, 1 in 300,000 couples genetically produce this. And the most severe, the baby will not live in the mother's womb because the skin suffocates them. Okay. We did not know he had this until he was born. Of course, medical's come a lot further now and they probably can tell. But when he was born, he looked like he had 3rd-degree burns all over his body. And the nurses would not touch him because they had never seen it before. This is in Wichita, Kansas. They had never seen it. I had them bring him in. I said, I carried him and I will take care of him. And I did. And the dermatologist came in and told me, you're not going to be able to have anybody else watch him because you're going to have to put lactic acid on him morning and night every day. So if you're the breadwinner, you're going to have to find something else to do. And I already had Mary Kay. So I call my son my Mary Kay baby and my Mary Kay miracle, because you guys, he has blown it away. They told me he wouldn't grow any taller than 3.5 feet tall because of his skin. It had no elasticity. And so he wouldn't be able to grow properly. And he'd probably die at the age of 23. He's now 33. He's 6'5". He has a full head of hair and he has 3 beautiful, beautiful little granddaughters of mine. And none of them have lamellar ichthyosis. So I'm telling you that story because had I not stepped out in faith, had I not turned around and looked at her and said, how much time does it take? How much does it cost? And where do I start? I don't know what I would have done. Could not take him to daycare. So you guys, at every single turn, there is a reason why you're where you're at. It's in the good Lord's time, not your time. I do want to share, and I don't want to keep you guys. How much time do I have left, Jen?
10 minutes, girl.
Okay, good. I do want to share something with you. Pamela Waldrop Shaw talks a lot about mindset. And so I'm going to go through something that she shared with us. And I believe this was at a leadership. I think it was our last leadership that she was there. Here's some things that she talked about mindset. Growth comes when you accept the truth about yourself and face them head on to change them. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Another thing is if you feel like you're doing Mary Kay all the time, but you don't feel like you're getting any results, what I want you to do is make a list of when you are literally doing income producing activities. That means you are doing a facial or you're doing an interview. There is nothing else, because I thought I was doing Mary Kay 24/7, but when my senior told me to write it down on paper exactly when I was doing income producing activities, I found out I was thinking about it. I wasn't doing it. So make sure you're real with yourself. You've got to tell yourself the truth. You have to. If you don't constantly strive to learn more and pivot, you got to be a good pivoter. If it's not working, go ahead and pivot and try something else. It's okay. You can always come back to the other, but if it's not working, be a quick pivoter. Turn fast. The story of your life and future has already been written. Do you believe that? And remember that fears establish the boundaries of your freedom. Fear is false evidence appearing real, you guys. It establishes the boundaries of your freedom, and it does not come from goodness. Fear comes from the enemy. Don't ever forget it. And if it's not a priority, quit saying it's not because you don't have time. Because if it's a priority, you will make time. Your thoughts are a choice. Think positive. What are you doing with your time? If you want to change your direction, what are you listening to? What are you watching on the screen? And who are you spending your time with? And you need to show up to be grown up. And I loved that saying. You have to show up to be grown up. Discipline is ignoring something right now for what you want to do in the future. And I know you've heard, and even Mary Kay used to say, right now, work hard so you can live later, the way you want to. Work now while you can. So when you can't, Mary Kay can take care of you. I can't stress that enough. False evidence appearing real. I just saw that. False evidence appearing real is for fear. Act like the person you want to become, and then you'll become that person. And this comes all from, oh my goodness, Pam Shaw. She's amazing. Hard work creates patterns and habits. So there's nothing wrong with hard work. Okay, it takes unwavering faith and a commitment to do the and then some to make big changes happen, to change massive amounts of lives. And it takes abundant effort. And you guys, right now with the $10, oh my goodness, you guys, $10. We should be sharing it with everybody. Everybody. I've got a consultant right now. She hasn't recruited anybody in 12 years and she's got 10 because she's going to her VIP Facebook group that has 400. And she said, you guys, it has literally changed my life for the better. If you want extra cash, just sign up. It's $10. So it's amazing. You've just got to ask. You have to ask. The future. Now I want you to listen to this. The future you, what your future is going to look like. The future you is counting on your present you. Your future as to what you want it to be is counting on you presently. Think about that. I thought that was huge. Stay true to your goals and dreams. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. Don't show up because you have to. Show up because you want to. And I'm preaching to the choir right now, I can assure you, because you're all here. So kudos. Thank you for being here. Nobody's coming to, now I loved this. Stop and think about this. Nobody's coming to tell you, because you are your own boss, nobody's coming to tell you to stop scrolling the web, to stop overeating, and to put on your sneakers. Stop listening to those saying you can't do it. Stop playing small and quit believing the lies of the enemy that you cannot do this, because you can do this. You want to play full out and all in because the passage of time is real. I cannot believe where 35 years has gone in my life. You guys, I have exactly 2.5 to 3 years to get our national area done. And I could sit here and I could say, yep, I've had 9 or 10 spinoff directors over the years, but they're not here now. But you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to get up, I'm going to put my boots on, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to make things happen, because that's what we're called to do. You guys, and Mary Kay Ash just asked one thing of us, and that is to pass it on. When we have struggles personally and professionally, we need to lean into our faith to get better, not bitter, stronger, not weaker, and how to advance, not retreat. So when we lean into our faith, we want to get better, not bitter, stronger, not weaker, and how we need to know how to advance, not retreat. Okay, you guys, yay, I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that I shared something and something was helped somebody. Thank you, Jen, for asking.
It was incredible. I loved it. I can't wait to, I don't know. I always like to write things down because it just helps me remember them as I go. And it was sensational. And there's no doubt, you're exactly who Mary Kay envisioned when she created a national position. And you'll absolutely do that. No doubt. Let me read here. I don't think we got it. I think, oh, I love all these. You have to look at the chat. Look at all these.
Aww.
Amazing. Okay. Anybody have a question or wants to unmute? You'll just have to unmute because I know some of you I can't see because your pictures are on, not your face. But maybe you have something you want to say to Jill to affirm her, or maybe you have a question. Yeah, go ahead, Jana.
I just want to thank you. This was great because as of June 14th, I retired from AT&T after 27 years. That's a whole nother discussion conversation, but I'm gone. And nobody cursed me if it's AT&T. Sorry, y'all. But I love it when you said you have something. When you have something come in your path, it is divine intervention. And, when I worked full time, and get up in the morning and all that stuff, I'd be like, gosh, if only I could work for myself and do Mary Kay and get up in the morning and, set my own hours and, go to the gym when I want to, da da da. Because it looked like, y'all were freedom, but y'all were disciplined. Because I watched like La Frida, Gloria, all the, and so, and you got to be careful because you can run into La Frida Williams anywhere in Texas. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I just like something I just wanted. But when I was wanting that, I didn't mean like literally like on April 19th, I found out, hey, you can stay in this job or you can go ahead and retire. Because it was offered to the whole company. So I chose to retire, and now
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing now. I've still got to build the income because right now I still have to look for another job, but I'm trying real hard not to. And I'm just kind of like, oh gosh,
You can do it. You can do it. And I
Yeah.
did want to say the best thing to do too. I mean, I love the 4 pages. That was for me. And at the end of each
Yeah.
page, you give yourself a prize, or your senior or your director, or somebody can give you a prize. But I'm very prize oriented. And so that's what she did. But track your progress, because a tracked number always grows. So please, yeah, do that. And also, a power start, shoot for 30 faces in 30 days. That's a great thing to do, because we can do hybrid now. We can do it in, and tell them your goal. Tell them what you need, because women want to help women. And another thing, you guys, how many of you right now need an idea to wrap up your power and sales challenge? Because I can share the screen and I can show you one. It's awesome. And
Yeah, share it.
women want to help women. So I will share this with you. Here we go. It's called the 30 to 30 and 24. And I can send this to Jen so she can, Jennifer, you can put this out there on the site. But there's a tracking sheet and everything, because did you guys know that if you sell $30 to 30 people in 24 hours, that's $900 sold? And $30, you guys, is a mascara and a lip gloss. What girl can't use that? What girl can't use a mascara and an oil-free eye makeup remover? That's $36. You're probably going to sell more, just so you know, than $30 to people. So you're going to have probably closer to $1,100 to $1,200 in sales. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because that was something that my unit is doing right now. And all of my new girls are to get their first Great Start order in. They're doing the 30 to 30 in 24 because boom, they're Great Start qualified and they get all that free product. So that is part of my training with them because so many people are like, well, I don't really want to, you know, they're feeling a little unsure about maybe investing. And I totally understand that. So we need to have another option for them. You know, have another option. That's good.
That's amazing. I love that. And yeah, if you'll send me that, Jill, I'll put it out for everybody so you can
Okay.
do that. And that way you'll have it. I'll put it on Lunch and Learn so y'all can see that. So
Awesome.
I love that you're all on here today. And it's really just a decision for any of you. It's just deciding today's the day that things are going to change. It's not, I'm going to fold laundry. I'm not going to, whatever.
Yep.
We have to stop making excuses. We have to make reasons
Yes.
why. And they have to be more dominant than any fear and any excuse you could ever come up with. So whatever.
Well, and yeah, and don't ever close that. And always remember that right around the corner is something. You have to have that mindset because, you know, we've all had doubts in our mind, but that's fear setting in. And there's so many times that, yeah, I wanted to burn my starter kit because I was like, really? I drove all the way to the, 45 minutes and she porched me, I mean, I've had it happen, we've all had it, but you got to keep on keeping on because guess what? If you keep on taking action and take God as your partner, the blessings are going to happen. They're going to happen.
They sure are. Well, I love y'all. I'm glad you were here today and I'll get the recording out. Give us a little bit, but when Jill sends me that, I'll go ahead and post that right away in the Lunch and Learn Facebook group. So you all will have that. And thank you again, Jill, for taking your time to share with so many women. And we're all going to be cheering you on for national.
Yeah, we're working on national and I have my second spinoff and I've got another one that'll probably go DIQ next month. Our goal is to be future executive by seminars. So probably executive is the goal. We want 5 at least. So
yes,
we're working towards it. And, the good Lord above knows what he's doing. I'm just taking action. So we'll see what happens.
Love it. I love it. Well, I hope you all have an amazing Thursday.
See you later.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.